So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use a coat hanger to take a flower vase from the Volkswagen Beetles from 1998 to about 2011 and make it into a little desktop stand for the flower vase. Now, this one is a blue flower vase. They came in various colors, so I used a coat hanger that's white, and this way it will match. Now, if you look at this coat hanger, the first thing you want to do is use wire cutters and cut off this piece, which I already did. So you have a nice long piece of wire. So the rest of the hanger can be discarded. And that is the first step. The next thing you're going to do is you need something round to wrap the wire around. Now I used this, which is a vacuum cleaner attachment, and basically this is a little wider than the vase, so I want to make the base just a little bit wider, not too much, just to give it a better footing when it's on the table. So I'm going to take the hanger and wrap it around. So I'm trying to do this. I may have to do it off camera, but let me just turn this around and see if I can rig it up that way. Okay, so now it's getting round, so you're going to keep working it round, and using an attachment like this will make sure it follows a nice circle versus being a little askew. So let's see. And it's starting to get a little difficult, especially when I'm trying to do this in a tight area. But you're going to basically wrap it around. Let me go off camera momentarily. Okay, so I was able to loop it around to where it looks like that. Not a perfect circle. So what I need is a pair of pliers, and I'm going to use some needle nose pliers that don't have any grooves in them so I don't scratch this any further. Of course, I could always spray paint this white if I wanted to. So let me go get the needle nose pliers. Okay, so here I have the needle nose pliers, and as you can see, these have nice flat surface and they're not grooved. So these are a good type of plier to use, and I'm going to take this and try and follow the curve a little bit. So now it's a little more rounded. Now the next step is to have this. What I want to do is I want to have this move to the center and then curve up with the shape of the vase, and I think that would be a nice style for the vase. What I want to do also is curve this around a little bit, make it a little tighter. And this side is a little cleaner than that of the coat hanger, so I'm going to use this. And you basically work it with your finger if you want to at first. So you have it come up this way. To where it's roughly in the middle, so that looks fairly middled. And then this can be bent. Like that. And I want to see, so this will have to be raised a little bit as this follows the thing, so it's going to be a little elevated, and I think it will look nice. Okay, so this is how it looks at the moment. This is going to go like that, so what I need to do is set that down and have this follow that curve. I'm actually going to have this at an angle to where that comes up, and you see how that follows the curve, and this will be elevated a little bit, so that's going to be fine that this is in there. I'll just angle it just a little bit and then curve it, and then I want to get this into a nice spiral. So this part I can wind about here. So I'll actually a little bit, whoops, I don't want to scratch this anymore. You know, I used to have a 2000 Beetle Turbo, and I bought it off a guy, so it didn't have the flower vase. And I'm also a guy, and I'm not going to use a flower vase for a flower. So what I did was I had a rubber stopper in here, put a screw, and took a plastic bottle and shaped it and taped it and screwed it into the rubber stopper, and it became a cell phone holder. Of course, I had a flip phone at the time. Now everybody has iPhones, and I'd have to make a new version of a holder, but we have Bluetooth, so it's nice talking on the phone while it's in my pocket. So anyway, we're gonna do what we did with this, and we're gonna make a smaller circle. It's just a little harder to manage, so I think I may need something else, but I'm gonna try with this first. And it seems like it might actually be working. Okay, so that is working, yay. Okay, the problem is this tapers, so it makes it harder to make a spiral. But the spiral has to be shaped like that, so this will go in and be held in place. So that's actually a little too wide, but it fits the shape. So the first thing I'm going to do is finish this spiral. May have to use my hands a little bit, which I don't want to do because I want it to be shaped nicely, but oh well. And then this has to go in here, and you'll see why in a moment. Okay. Then, whoops. I'm going to straighten this out for a moment. I'm going to bend this down. Probably should have bent it before I started spiraling, so let me bend it. Okay. And then that's this way, so this will have to be flat. Okay. So now this, I'm going to use needle nose pliers again. Well, not at the moment. And I want this actually a little tighter than that. But I also want this underneath, and I'm going to have to redo it underneath and then push down here to help keep a circular shape, which didn't turn out as circular as I wanted, but I'll try to work with it. I should have used something smaller than this to wind through, but what we're going to do to remedy that, and that is a good question, what are we going to do to remedy that? I should have had the vase about that way, so this is actually going to need to be a little tighter, so I'm going to have to wind it from here. So I'm going to pull this, and it's still not very circular, but now it's beginning to work. But you see how this piece is just all over the place? We want to actually make it into a spiral, so I'm doing it like that. And this should loop around, and then it should be nice and secure. And it's a little short using a coat hanger, but we'll work with that. Okay. So that's how it looks at the moment. And then this needs to be curved a little bit, and then we'll be set. So we have the needle nose pliers, but it's hard to get in there. Okay, so now let's try this. Okay, so you see up here, it's a little loose, and down here is nice and tight. What we're going to have to do is take this and twist it a little. And this should tighten that area. And then we're going to have to straighten this. And it's getting there. Then we're going to have to make sure it's centered. And this way it will be balanced, because right now, if you look at it, it shakes, and if I move this up, looks kind of interesting, but this is not straight. See, it tilts because that needs to be twisted a little more right here. And that's the hard part. So let me twist it manually and stretch. And let's see. Then bend. And I think we about have it. I wasn't expecting the vase to be that high off. But this can be wedged down and it will be more secure. And that looks about right. So now we have a nice vase. When you fill it with water, it will add a little weight and it will be more steady. But this part at the bottom is fairly flat. This is going to be bent down a little bit. So now it's no longer as flat, so you just have to massage it. If you want to solder it, you can solder this part right here so it will be more secure. But it's a pretty interesting style of a vase for reusing your old flower vase into a new flower vase. And there you go.